You know, when we talk about success in hospitality, it's about so much more than just a comfortable bed or a great meal, right? It's really about creating an experience, something that stays with a guest long after they've checked out. Today, we're going to dive deep into the art and science of turning that initial guest satisfaction into true, unwavering loyalty.
Hello, and a very warm welcome. As a hotel AI expert, my role here is to really distill the best practices from modern hospitality operations to help you grow. On behalf of Europe Hotel School, it's my pleasure to guide you through this module. So, let's get started and explore what it takes to truly excel in this amazing industry.
So what's on the agenda? Well, think of this as our roadmap. We'll start with the foundational principles, and then we're going to follow the guest path, from their very first click online all the way through their stay. We'll even cover what to do when things go wrong, and finally, we'll look at how to build that lasting relationship.
All right, let's start with the absolute foundation. You see, every single successful hospitality operation, at its core, is driven by two fundamental goals: achieving guest satisfaction and, just as importantly, cultivating that lasting loyalty.
Now, this is a really critical distinction to make. Think of satisfaction as purely transactional. It basically asks the question, did we meet expectations for this stay? It's like a check mark. But loyalty, oh, that's a whole different ballgame. That's about a relationship. It's that emotional connection that ensures they choose us for their next stay, no matter what competitors are doing.
And look, these outcomes don't just happen in a single moment. They are the sum total of the entire guest journey. This is a process where every single touch point, from the first click on your website to the follow-up email you send, all of it works together to shape the guest's perception of you.
Okay, so let's see how this journey actually builds, starting right at the very beginning, the pre-arrival experience. We like to call this the digital handshake, and it is absolutely crucial because it sets the stage for everything that follows.
You see, this is where that very first impression gets made. A super smooth booking process, that tells the guest you're professional. A clear confirmation email, that builds their confidence. Personalizing the communication makes them feel seen, not just like another reservation number. And anticipating a special occasion, well, that starts building that emotional connection before they've even walked through the door.
And that's really the whole point, isn't it? Personalizing things this early on completely transforms a standard transaction into a meaningful experience. It becomes a huge driver for that emotional loyalty we're aiming for.
All right, now we've arrived at the heart of it all, the in-stay experience. This is what we call the moment of truth. This is where all the promises and expectations you created during that pre-arrival phase are put to the ultimate test.
You know, there's a reason we focus so much on the arrival and check-in. It's because first impressions are just so powerful. A warm, efficient welcome creates a positive emotional baseline for the whole stay. But a poor first impression, wow, that creates a deficit that is incredibly difficult to overcome.
So, during this stay, success really hinges on a blend of these key elements. As you can see, professional communication and service consistency are paramount. They're the biggest pieces of the pie. But you can't forget the physical environment, cleanliness and ambience, and digital convenience like fast Wi-Fi and mobile keys. These are critical for the modern guest experience.
Let's zoom in on professional communication for a second. We really see the front office as the central hub of it all. The team's ability to just listen actively and respond with real empathy is what makes guests feel truly understood and valued. This is the human core of the service experience.
Now, in any complex operation, let's be realistic. Perfection is impossible. And that brings us to a vital skill: mastering service recovery. This isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about turning them into powerful opportunities to build trust.
So what does happen when things inevitably go wrong? A delayed room service order, a maintenance issue, a billing error. It's how you respond in these moments that truly defines your hotel's commitment to its guests.
An effective recovery follows a very clear process. First, acknowledge the issue and offer a sincere apology. Then, resolve it with speed and efficiency. Compensate fairly for the inconvenience. And, this is the part people often forget, follow up to make sure the guest is truly satisfied with the outcome. This structured approach is what rebuilds confidence.
And this leads to a fascinating paradox in hospitality. A well-executed service recovery can create a more loyal guest than one who never experienced a problem at all. The memory of being heard and respected during a moment of frustration is powerful and so enduring.
All right, let's move into our final section and see how all of these pieces come together to forge that enduring loyalty, transforming a single great stay into a lasting relationship.
The ultimate goal here is emotional loyalty. You see, transactional loyalty, the kind that's based on points and discounts, is fleeting. But emotional loyalty, built on trust, recognition, and genuine connection, is far, far stronger. It's what makes a guest choose your hotel, even when a competitor offers a better price.
And remember, the guest journey doesn't just end at checkout. The relationship is maintained through thoughtful post-stay communication. Asking for feedback shows you value their opinion, and then acting on it demonstrates a real commitment to excellence, keeping that connection alive for their next visit.
So what powers this entire process? What's the engine that drives this kind of consistent excellence? Well, it's not just about procedures. It's all about the internal culture of the hotel itself.
Exceptional service is built on these 5 pillars. And notice how they all support each other. Committed leadership fosters a culture of trust. An empowered team can then use data effectively for personalization. This entire system just drives continuous improvement. Without this strong internal structure, external excellence is simply unsustainable.
This really gets to the core principle. Happy employees create happy guests. A positive, supportive internal culture is directly linked to guest satisfaction. Honestly, the most effective investment in your guests is an investment in your team.
And that leaves us with one final thought. As an AI expert, I see the power of technology to enhance efficiency and personalization every single day. But in an age of increasing automation, what truly is the most valuable asset in hospitality? It is the genuine human connection that turns a simple stay into a memorable experience. And that is what you are here to master.